FYS instructors, hello, welcome. I hope you're having a good day. My name is Barry Wolf. I am the director for the FYE Peer Mentor Program. I am going to chat with you about that program today for a little bit, give you some info and some updates. So for those of you who are kind of returners, some of this will be review, and for those of you who are new to the program, this will, I think, provide you some useful and helpful information about the Peer Mentor Program and how that relates to your work in the FYS course. Okay, so here we go. First thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you for signing up to do this important, challenging, powerful work. First-year students, many first-year students struggle with the transition to college and really benefit from the experiences that they have in FYE, the relationships that they have with the FYS instructor and the FYE peer mentor. So I really appreciate you doing this really meaningful work. The next thing I want to say is congratulations, because by signing up for this thing, you get to do important, challenging, and powerful work. If you are anything like me, I think you will find that you are grateful and honored in order to be able to walk alongside these students as they are making this really important transition. Yeah, good news. Congratulations. A little bit about the value of the peer mentors. So there are many students who prefer to get help from one of their peers. And one of the things about peer mentors is that they are able to provide kind of a unique perspective about how to maneuver through our system that I think faculty and staff have a more difficult time kind of speaking to. So peer mentors provide this really kind of unique and specific type of help to our students that it's often the case that faculty and staff just kind of like aren't able to provide. So I'll talk about kind of like how that plays out. So the two main ways in which the mentors provide support to first-year students is they facilitate weekly community meetings, and they provide individual support. So I'll speak to both of those kind of individually. So community meetings, those will be on Thursdays. All community meetings will run at the same time. FYE mentors run those meetings. They will be Thursdays 1 to 2 throughout the whole semester. Community meetings do two things: that they parallel the goals of the FYE and FYS programs in general, and that they focus on building community and building capacity. So we do a lot of work around helping students feel connected to the mentor, connected to each other, come together as a community, the section to come together as a community, and then also feel connected to the institution. So lots of community building and lots of relationship building in the community meetings. We also focus on building capacity and helping students gain skills that will be useful to them as they learn how to do college well. Right? So study skill strategies, problem solving strategies, help seeking, what resources they can access and how to access those resources, helping them adjust to social life, diversity and inclusion, emotional intelligence stuff. So we do a lot of helpful things in those community meetings. We also, mentors are also available to their mentees outside of community meeting as needed to provide general help and support. And so they're really there for anything that the student needs and to help them problem solve any issue that comes to them, right? That being said, we're clear that mentors are not professionally trained counselors. So there are some issues, there are times in which like mentors or mentees will bring something to a mentor and the situation or problem is too severe or complex for the mentor to kind of manage that thing. And in those instances, the mentor will refer the mentee to the appropriate resource. Okay? And that being said, like, you know, talking about resources, a lot of what the mentors do is focus on helping their mentees connect to the resources that we have on campus. Speaking of community meeting, I just want to provide a friendly reminder for folks, and this might be for new folks, this will be kind of new information. So when I first started this position, we didn't have a policy or we didn't have a policy in place regarding requirements around attendance in community meetings. So some faculty, it was really left up to the individual instructor, right? So some instructors said, you know, like, totally voluntary. If you want to go to community meeting, go. If you don't want to go to community meeting, you don't have to go. Right? Some instructors said it's required, but didn't put any kind of points behind it. And then some instructors said it's required and I'm putting points behind it. These inconsistencies created confusion among the first year students, and they would talk to each other and say, well, mine, you know, I don't have to go to mine, and others would say, well, I'm required, so this doesn't make any sense. Those inconsistencies created a situation in which students were not attending community meeting very often. Like our attendance was around 60%, which is very low. And shortly after I came in, I started asking instructors to set aside 5% of the course grade and dedicate that to attendance and participation in community meeting. And since we've adopted that as a general stance, attendance has kind of gone through the roof, right? We have around, depending on the year, we have about 85, 90% attendance in community meeting throughout the semester. So again, I'm coming to you asking, could you please set aside 5% of your course grade and dedicate that to at least 5% of the course grade. You can put more if you want. Dedicate that to attendance and participation in community meeting. And the way that plays out is we create a Google Sheet, which the mentor keeps track of attendance every week. And then we just share that sheet with you, the instructor. So you see kind of what's going on week to week, or you can look at it at the end of the semester and see like your attendance, your students' attendance in community meeting. We tack on participation onto that thing just to provide you the opportunity. Like, you don't have to kind of calculate in participation into that part of the grade if you don't want to. But there are times in which I think it's helpful You know, if a student is kind of like going to community meeting, but they're kind of disruptive or kind of misbehaving on a regular basis, then the instructor has the option to kind of say, listen, you know, I'm going to have to lower your grade, given that participation is part of, you know, the grading community meeting, if you don't kind of adjust your behavior, right? So, again, thank you for doing that. Like, it makes things so much easier on our end. It makes attendance and engagement go way up for first year students in those community meetings. So mentor training. In the past, mentors come back, you know, like several days before the semester begins, and we do this kind of like boot camp training for 3 or 4 days. Last year, we were not able to do that because of COVID, and we did a lot of training online over the summer. That went actually better than I thought it was going to go, and so we're gonna do kind of a hybrid version of that thing this year. So we're doing training once a week. We've already started throughout the whole summer, you know, through Google Meet. And then we're gonna come back, you know, a little bit early, and we're gonna have a full day of training before we start helping out with orientation. We also have, oh, I should mention that we also have like a mentor meeting every week. That'll be on Tuesdays this week or this year, where we all the mentors come together and we prep for the community meeting, which is later in the week, which I think I mentioned earlier, which is on Thursdays. Mentor selection. So sometimes instructors are curious about the ways in which we select mentors. So I'll say this: we spend a lot of time and energy finding, recruiting, and hiring mentors. Tons and tons of time, mostly in the spring semester. And we kind of have an unreasonable combination of attributes and experiences that we're looking for. So we focus a lot on interpersonal skills, so they kind of have to be like interpersonal ninjas. Super empathetic, like inherently interested in helping other people, kind, quick to warm, thoughtful, hardworking, grounded in all sorts of ways, academically, socially, well-connected in different areas of the college, has lots of practice maneuvering through the college system. Yeah, so that's a handful of the things that we're looking for. Regarding pairings and how mentors come to be in certain sections, so that we do kind of multiple things in order to get to that place. So first we give a full list of the sections that are being offered and the instructors that go with those sections to the mentors, and we just essentially say, you know, let us know which sections and faculty members you would prefer to work with. We also give a list of the mentors to the instructors, which I will be sending that list to you guys soon, actually, and ask you guys to preference the mentors you would prefer to work with. We also look at mentors' previous experience, things they're interested in, majors, stuff like that. So we combine all that stuff together, and then we figure out who's going to be the best fit for which section. Right? Yeah. So today or tomorrow, I'm going to send a list of sections to the mentors. So I'll get their feedback, I don't know, in the next few days. In a few days, I will also send you guys the list of mentors and ask you to respond to that within the next few days. And then we'll start that process of figuring out who goes into what section. And I'll, yeah. So I thought I'd share just a few, pictures of the mentors. This is Jordan. She's a previous mentor. She's super good at jumping. This is Ari. So we like to be, really playful and engaging with the first year students. I should have mentioned this in community meeting. This reminds me, in community meetings are really kind of set up to be super playful and gamified. So we do a lot of learning through play. And again, focus a lot on the relationships and a lot on the community. Meeting with your mentor. So first year students benefit when the FYS instructor and the FYE peer mentor work together as a team. Things just run much more smoothly when those two people come together and work together as a meaningful pair. So I'm going to encourage you guys to meet with your mentors on at least a semi-regular basis. So once a week or once every other week. So your mentor, once the assignments come out, your mentor will reach out to you and kind of talk to you about kind of setting those up. And it tends to work better when those are kind of regularly scheduled things rather than just kind of doing an as needed thing. So mentors are super excited to start working with you. They are genuinely interested in having relationships with you and working as a team to help figure out how to best support your students. In those meetings with your mentors, I thought I might give you some options of things that you might talk about or address. So some of those are how well are your first year students transitioning, right? So regarding effort. So in order to do well, like they're going to have to put in more time and energy than they have in the past. They're also going to have to kind of think about work differently. A lot of high school students do most of their homework in school. So, it's going to be important, for them to do well, they're going to have to transition and they're going to have to figure out a way to spend a lot more time doing schoolwork outside of class. Strategy, so study skills, how to do well on exams, how to write papers. So all of these things are going to be important to check in on regarding their transition. And then social, interpersonal, personal stuff. It'll be helpful to check in with the mentor about kind of how are those things going and in what way can you guys support them regarding their non-academic stuff. Concerns regarding students in the section. So like if anything comes up in the section and you're worried about a student, like either their performance in the class or their behavior or their engagement, I would strongly encourage you to talk to your mentor about that and to come up with a plan for how you guys are going to address that. Course content. So if you want the mentor to remind them of any upcoming assignments or activities or events, or if there's any issues playing out in the course and you want to like problem solve how to address those issues and see if there's a way in which the mentor can kind of help you with that. And then mentors can also sometimes provide feedback on how students are experiencing the course. So sometimes they'll share how they're experiencing the course with the mentor in a way that they might not share it with the faculty member. And there are times in which the mentor can kind of like give you that feedback, and you guys can talk about like potential adjustments that you can make in the course that might be beneficial moving forward. And then things that you're trying to teach your students regarding capacity, study skills, specific strategies that you're trying to help them adopt. Like, you can talk to the mentor about those things, and you guys can figure out a way in which the mentor can also reinforce those things or check in on those things and encourage them to engage in those strategies. I think that's it. Again, mentors are super excited to work with you. They are hounding me for the list of courses and the list of instructors. They are very eager to see what's going on and to send in their preferences. I am super excited to work with you guys. Just know, like, as we go through this, your mentor is really very interested in being a partner and being a teammate to you. They have your back. I have your back. Please let me know if you need anything at all, throughout the summer or during the semester. I'm always available to help with any questions or concerns that you have. Easiest way to reach me is probably through email. So my email is bwolf@albion.edu. So it's just BWOLF at albion.edu. I think that's it. All right. Let me know if you need anything. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye.